The Thunderbolts team, or I guess teams, are composed of many different characters, some known, some less known. The fun thing is that even those characters that are known usually have a few tricks up their sleeves. I'm Adam Andrews with Top 10 Nerd, and this is the top 10 Thunderbolts members stronger than you think. But wait! First off, I want to ask, who is your favorite underrated superhero? In at number 10 though is Red Hulk. Red Hulk may not have been a member of the regular Thunderbolts team, but he actually led his very own Thunderbolts team, so I'm including him here. And one other member from that team on this list. As most people know, Red Hulk is, well, a Hulk, meaning he has insane levels of super strength and durability that has allowed him to do things like overpowering and killing the Abomination with ease, punching out the Watcher, taking down an Elder of the Universe, and defeating an Odin Force-powered Thor in a one-on-one fight, though it should be noted that Thor was unprepared for him at the time. But what some might not know is his other two abilities. Red Hulk constantly gives off gamma radiation, which increases the angrier he gets, even sometimes making him appear to be on fire. And if he gets too angry, he can even explode in gamma fire. But Ross can also absorb energy, mostly gamma, but he apparently has a real taste for cosmic power. He has also absorbed and taken the Silver Surfer's power cosmic, flying away on his surfboard. Cowabunga, dude. Number 9. Moonstone. Carla Sofin was a not-so-moral psychiatrist who particularly enjoyed manipulating her patients into paranoia rather than helping them. So we're off to a good start here. This led to her being an assistant of the villain Dr. Faustus, and her manipulative skills only grew under his teachings. This allowed her to get time with Lloyd Bloch, who is the original Moonstone. She gave Lloyd hallucinogens and persuaded him into giving her the Moonstone and the Kree device that granted him immense powers, which include 10-ton superhuman strength, super speed, stamina, durability, agility, reflexes, and flight, as well as, thanks to the Gravity Stone, the ability to control gravitational forces, enabling her to move and otherwise manipulate matter, to create force fields, to increase gravity around a target and crush it, to generate miniature black holes, and even to transport objects through dimensional rifts. Number 8. Songbird. Melissa Gold, who goes by the superhero alias Songbird, is a human mutate with vocal cord based sound abilities that were later replaced by a set of vocal cord implants and an external harness thanks to Roxxon. Now this allowed her to do a whole bunch of really cool science fiction-y things like generating powerful sonic blasts, sonic force fields, influencing others with high-pitched sonic vibrations, and she can even create solid objects from sound, including battering rams, pincers, projectiles, giant hands, platforms, and wings that she can use to fly at supersonic speeds. The process that granted her these crazy powers also happened to give her super strength, capable of lifting 2 tons, and of course, she has the other basics like durability, stamina, reflexes, agility, and speed. What do you think of this? Kinda nuts. And at number 7 is America Chavez. While I feel as though a lot of people do really like America Chavez, I feel like a lot of people are not fully aware of her powers and just how awesome they can be. America has the physiology of an extra-dimensional being, which gives her the ability to channel interdimensional energies through her body. She's used these energies in a number of different ways and never to their peak extent. So some of these powers she has displayed using these energies include self-propelled flight, superhuman speed, and superhuman strength that nearly allowed her to beat Loki in a fight. She is nearly indestructible and invulnerable, possesses superhuman longevity, hyper-cosmic awareness, and her signature move, the star-shaped portals that enable her to traverse time and the multiverse. She can also use them offensively as a spatial slicer, and the portals even allow her to access the Starling Highway. She's truly a powerhouse. Number 6. Persuasion. Persuasion is Kara Kilgrave, the daughter of Zebediah Kilgrave, otherwise known as the Purple Man. Similar to her father, Persuasion earns that name with the ability to release pheromones that can place people into an extremely susceptible state that puts them at Kara's every command. The difference between her and her father, though, is that when Kara is persuading someone and using her abilities, they also turn the same shade of purple as her, which means it would be very hard for her to use her abilities with any form of subtlety. Her abilities also don't work on symbiotes or their current hosts, so there's that as well. Sorry girl, you are cool, but your dad, he's kinda cooler. Whoops. Number 5. Penance/Speedball. Once Robert Baldwin, also known as Speedball, discovered his powers were still working after the Stanford incident, his powers evolved and he ordered a new, very metal-looking suit with 612 internal spikes that constantly caused him pain for the 612 lives that were lost in Stamford, Connecticut. He joined the new Thunderbolts team with his ability to create a kinetic field of unknown energy around himself, which absorbed all kinetic energy directed against him. With his kinetic field, it was nearly impossible for him to be hurt, and he instead bounced around harmlessly from object to object with no loss or transference of momentum. But as Penance, with this new cool suit, Robbie's powers evolved, allowing him to absorb energy from his surroundings such as kinetic activity, electricity, and the radiation signatures of other super beings, which was then harnessed as kinetic release, causing explosive force to radiate from his body, firing lance beams of pure force from his hands, or even allowing him to fly. Penance initially required physical pain in order to activate these powers, hence the spikes and the name. And his bubble field powers appeared to be gone, but Doc Samson later showed Robbie that his powers were actually affected by his mindset and he could reactivate his Speedball powers with relaxed, positive thinking. Number 4. Atlas. On a delivery to South America, American soldier and mercenary Eric Jostin was mutated by Amora the Enchantress using Baron Zemo's ionic ray, infusing him with ionic energy. He took on a few different names as a villain, including Power Man, Smuggler, and Goliath, after using Pym particles to further enhance himself, but trying to become a hero, he joined the Thunderbolts and took on the name Atlas. But enough backstory. What powers did this ionic energy give Eric? Well, he can channel the energy into strength capable of lifting 30 tons, but thanks to the Pym particles, he can grow in size, increasing his strength to an almost immeasurable amount. He has limitless stamina, invulnerability, and increased perception and reflexes. But the interesting part of Atlas comes when he is in his energy form. In this form, Atlas is capable of adaptive possession, which he did with his old lover Dallas, self-propelled flight, energy manipulation and phasing, self-sustenance and immortality, as well as pan-dimensional phasing and the creation of breaches that act as doorways between the 616 universe and the microverse. Number 3. Lady Deathstrike. Yuriko Oyama is the daughter of Kenji Oyama, who eventually becomes Lord Darkwind and develops a way to use adamantium to enhance individuals, which was stolen by William Stryker. Yuriko did not like her father that much, and with the help of Daredevil, actually ended him. This inadvertently caused the loss of her lover though, which twisted her into taking after her father and enacting a vendetta against Wolverine for his adamantium skeleton that was given to him by the process stolen from Lord Darkwind. Yuriko took on the name Lady Deathstrike, and she also enhanced herself with adamantium claws and a cyborg body. Almost every single thing she does is in service of her vendetta against Wolverine, except for the Thunderbolts, which is a team she was just kinda on, even though Bullseye, who she also hated, was on that team as well. Her 12-inch long claws, much like her cybernetic skeleton, are laced with adamantium and enable her to cut and pierce through pretty much any substance. Her physical attributes are also enhanced, and she possesses a cybernetic healing factor and even the ability to cybernetically interface her consciousness with external computer systems. In at number 2 is Mongoose. Okay, are you ready to be alarmed? Mongoose, as his name might suggest, and as I never imagined would be true, actually started life as a legit mongoose. The change came when he was experimented on by the High Evolutionary. This experimentation that created the New Men turned the mongoose into a sentient humanoid being who retained some of his animalistic qualities. Like all mongoose, or mongoose, no, it's mongoose. This character can lift 10 tons, run fast enough to scale buildings, physically exert himself for 24 hours straight, sustain strikes from Spider-Man and Thor, and he has enhanced agility and reflexes, just like all mongoose. I guess. He can also use his teeth and claws as weapons alongside his gauntlets that produce a paralyzing gas. To my surprise, while he has pretty much no training, he has developed his own fighting style that is apparently similar to Spider-Man's. Number 1. King Kobra. In a world where a highly radioactive super spider can allow a young man to do all the things a spider can, like apparently swinging from building to building and being incredibly acrobatic, of course there is someone who had the same thing happen but with a cobra instead. Klaus Voorhees was an ex-convict working with the medical research professor Ezekiel Schechter on a universal antitoxin for snake venom. Now Voorhees induced one of the cobras kept in the laboratory to bite both Schechter and himself, planning to use the universal antitoxin to save himself from death. But what he didn't know is that the cobra had been irradiated, so the combination of the radioactive venom and the experimental antitoxin gave Voorhees cobra-like powers, which is apparently elasticity for some reason. All of the bones in his body, including his skull, are malleable, and his muscles are also extremely resilient, making his body and bones basically impossible to break. He can control every muscle in his body to slither at around 50 miles per hour without his arms or his legs, able to slither into and out of very tight and small spaces down to about 4 inches in diameter. Also, by using his flexibility to wrap himself around a victim's body and then exerting his full strength, the cobra traps that victim within his cobra grip, which is exceedingly difficult to escape. And with that, nerds, we have reached the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Adam Andrews, this is Top 10 Nerd, and peace out, nerds!